Let's now cross to France 24's Fraser Jackson, who's there at the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia and followed the debate. Fraser, just remind us of your main takeaways from tonight.
Yeah, it was a wide-ranging debate. I think most of the main issues that voters care about were definitely touched upon. It opened with which is arguably the most consequential issue for most voters this election, which is the economy. Kamala Harris once again putting forward her plan that she is now starting to flesh out about giving tax breaks to small businesses, also wanting to build millions of homes over the course of her tenure, and giving tax breaks to businesses that build those homes as well. Donald Trump's tax policy, economic policy also came under the microscope, especially his tariffs that he wants to put on all imported goods, including tariffs of up to 60% on goods coming from China. Kamala Harris said that would be to raise the cost of everyday items for Americans, but Trump pushed back on that. We also heard from the pair on abortion, which is arguably the Democrats' #1 issue. I'm going to see if I can just grab Governor Roy Cooper. Governor, can I ask you some questions for France 24 real quickly?
Sure.
You're obviously quite a key running mate for this campaign. How do you think Kamala Harris did today?
She was clearly strong. She looked presidential. She showed how she would be a president for all the people of North Carolina. She put Donald Trump on the defensive on most every single issue. And she made a great case as to why it's time to turn the page on Donald Trump.
North Carolina now is in play. That's something that the Biden campaign did not see, and when it was Joe Biden at the top of the ticket. Why do you think Kamala Harris is resonating with the voters of North Carolina?
Well, for one thing, the race was very close in 2020. Donald Trump only won it by 1.3%. I think people of North Carolina recognize now the chaos that Donald Trump's 4 years as president caused, the jobs that were lost, the respect that was lost across the world. And I believe there will be enough North Carolinians this time to put Kamala Harris over the top and make history.
And finally, Governor, you were at one point touted to be in the running to be her VP running mate for this campaign. Obviously, that now has gone to Tim Walz. What do you think of her selection, and what do you think he brings to the ticket?
He is an extraordinary vice presidential nominee. He's been a great leader as governor of Minnesota. He represents the middle class. He's the perfect complement for her, and I'm excited about that team.
Governor, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. I just picked up there with the governor of North Carolina, Roy Cooper, who is somebody that has had a key relationship with Kamala Harris over the course of the last couple of months. Somebody that indeed was touted to maybe be the vice presidential running mate himself, but obviously that went elsewhere. But he there clearly thinking that Kamala Harris did a good job, and his state is key this election because North Carolina could be another path that Kamala Harris could take to the White House, and that was something that Joe Biden did not have at his disposal when he was at the top of the ticket.
Great, Fraser. Thanks. Great to hear from Roy Cooper there as well. Just quickly, will this debate have done anything to help undecided voters make up their minds tonight?
I think that's going to be the key question that really is going to be coming out of this. There aren't many people that really, don't know how they feel about one or the other candidates, but there was some key polling that we saw come out just in the lead up to this debate, and that said that basically about half of those people who said they were undecided wanted to hear more about Kamala Harris, to find out more about her, and that was just 18% when it came to Donald Trump. So the undecided camp is arguably more in favor of Harris in the sense that they're more curious about Harris. Whether, though, she has done enough to bring them on side is what really we are looking at now. You'll notice that there were a couple of things thrown in for those people. At the very end of her closing statement, she said about the army, about the military, she said that she wants to make sure they have the most lethal fighting force. They are not really words that they use in the progressive circles. That is something that is being pushed towards that moderate person in the middle of the political spectrum, who maybe would be a Nikki Haley voter, maybe would be more of a right-leaning Democrat, as somebody that believes in the value of the military. That was a bit of red meat for them. So Kamala Harris trying to bring those people on side. She also, of course, was talking about on the Capitol that day, she said, if you were disgusted by what you saw that day, there is a part for you here in this campaign. So once again, she's trying to reach out to those voters. It must be said, Donald Trump is not really doing much to enlarge his tent. We know that his supporters and people who are more likely to vote for Trump like it more when he stays on message and focuses on the policies. That is also what his campaign prefers. But Donald Trump sometimes can't really help himself and goes for those personal attacks and those personal grievances, and those are things that don't really pull well with people outside of his base.
Fantastic. Fraser Jackson, thank you very much for all your analysis there in Philadelphia, covering the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.